afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Welcome to the video. You're probably looking back at the backdrop here and thinking, where has the Amazon superseller sign gone? Well, it's been shifted over to the new house, so all my belongings are pretty much been moved over now. And this will be, sadly, my last video ever posted here, wherever this room's called. It's just a room. Haven't got a name for it, but Superseller HQ will do. But to the point, right, this video, I want to introduce to you and discuss for maybe 10 minutes or so how to get your product ranked on the first page on Amazon UK. Now, you're probably thinking, well, who are you to tell me how to get a product ranked on page one? Well, I have, over the last 2 years, been upskilling myself through trial and error, reading books, articles, journal articles, and experience of how to get a product ranked on page one. Now, I have experience working with students to be able to get their product to page one. And as an example today, I have had a student who has had a problem. They've actually messaged me and said, Dill, I'm actually selling too fast. You heard that right, too fast. And they need to slow things down because our PPC strategy has worked. Now, let me just show you, and I'm not going to show you the name of this person, but I'm going to show you their sales. And this is their, I believe, third or fourth week. So we can see there, this is one of my students. So 1,206, and it's 50% profit margin. So about £600 a week they're currently doing at the moment, profit. And we've got an issue of PPCs working too well. So, it's a good problem to have. We're not complaining, but it's something that we need to look into. But just to show you, give you a background of my experience with PPC, I currently rank my products on page one for the majority of their search terms out of sort of 70 to 100,000 results. And again, that doesn't come by chance. A lot of hard work goes into that, but it's certainly possible if you know what you're doing. So, you're probably aware there's lots of ways to rank products, right? We can, when we launch our product initially, we can carry out giveaways. We can look to get organic sales to increase our BSR and spike our BSR and rank for keywords. We can use PPC. We can drive external traffic from our private website, from Facebook ads, from a ClickFunnels, from lots of different places. But today we're looking at PPC. So just give you an idea, when you're launching your product, my advice on what you need to do to rank highly for your keywords. So if we look within this section here, the create campaign section, and I'm not going to say one more time in this video, right? That's the goal. So we've got so now. So we look at this campaign, it's a blank campaign, and we are going to be inputting a name initially. So, we could just put in there Christmas sale or Christmas dash, and then the name of our product that we are sponsoring. If it's our first product, if we're selling, a ring, we could put, I don't know why that's there. We could put, Christmas dash ring, for example, if that was the one product you sold, something to distinguish what it is. So we have a start date and an end date, fairly self-explanatory. Now, a daily budget. Initially, it does depend on how much you have to spend. What's your disposable income with regard to the injection into PPC every day? Be reasonable about it. £5 a day is what I advise students to go for, which gives them enough budget to spread out over the day to gather that all-important data, which we'll look at in a moment. Now, if we look at the two types of targeting here, we have automatic targeting and manual targeting. Two very different ways of using the PPC campaign itself to target customers. Automatic targeting, which is this one here, is when essentially you're saying to Amazon, can your algorithm basically, based on all of my back-end search terms, my product description, title, features and details, page and product description page, can you match my product to products that you think it would be related to? So Amazon will basically look at your listing using a bot, using their Amazon algorithm, and they will match you to search terms that relate to your listing. Hence why search terms and your product description and all your title and information on your page is so relevant, because that's how you match up to the search term. So Amazon basically casts out quite a wide net, and they will gather a lot of data for you. So they will be able to essentially find out what keywords are working better than others. but you at the moment are not in control of what keywords that they are targeting or that they're using. For example, if you had a black iPhone case, they might well be putting out the keyword white iPhone case or red iPhone case, in which case your impression would show up within the search results. And if someone clicked on that, it's likely that they're not going to purchase your product because they're looking for something different, but they are related keywords. So they will, and you will find when we look at the search term report later, that automatic targeting is very, very useful and we have to do it, but it's not always super efficient, and hence why we would shift over later to a manual, which we'll get into. But what I advise is to initially run an automatic PPC campaign with a £5 to £10 per day budget and run that over a 2 to 4 week period. Now, after that 2 to 4 week period, you can download what's called a search term report. Now, this search term report, honestly, is the single most useful piece of data and information that Amazon provides you. They are essentially giving you all of the search terms in the automatic campaign and telling you whether or not they converted into a sale. So if someone searched for black iPhone case and you were having a tremendous amount of sales for that search term, you would know it after looking at this search term report. Now, you'll also, as well as seeing terms that you are gathering lots of sales for, you will also see keywords and search terms that you're not getting any sales for, but you might still be spending money on. Right? Let's think about the white iPhone case example. You might still be getting clicks for that term, white iPhone case, and spending money on those clicks, but getting no sales, which we don't want. So this is where we can shift over to a manual campaign. So at the end of the 4th week, I like to split test. Now, split test means we simultaneously run our automatic campaign alongside our manual campaign, the new manual campaign, and we compare and contrast the two. A manual campaign is when you manually input the search terms that you know are converting from the automatic campaign that you've been previously running for 4 weeks. You extract all those keywords that have been doing you very well, and you'll find there's a lot of keywords that you will discover and learn about that you wouldn't have expected were converting, which is why it's so important to use these automatic campaigns. And when we shift those over into a manual campaign, we're actually getting rid of all the poor performing keywords, and we are bidding higher, and we are specifically targeting keywords that we know convert. So very, very effective way of doing things. And this is exactly what I'm doing with my student at the moment. We are in the process of shifting over very, very soon. And I'm very excited to see the results considering how well our auto campaign has been going. So with manual targeting, we are actually able to control the search terms that customers type in, which trigger your ads to pop up. So we can give the search term to a specific campaign, which in turn will trigger the ad to be visible to the customer when they search for that particular term. And there's 3 match types. We have a broad match type, a phrase match type, and an exact match type. And we'll look at those briefly below. So as we can see here, we have a section here that says match type. So there are 3, as I just mentioned, and we'll look at them in order of how effective they are essentially. So we have a broad match type. A broad match type is when you are giving Amazon free reign to not necessarily match the keyword exactly to what the customer's searching, but it can be a relative term or a synonym or an abbreviation of that particular term. So a broad match will get you the least specific results. So with a broad match type, we're being the least specific. We are saying to Amazon that although I'm giving you and providing you this keyword, we're going to let you go and match this up and let our ad trigger for relative keywords, not necessarily specifically the keyword that we're giving them, which doesn't always work very well. So, if we're selling a pen and we pop pen in there, now pens and pencils are related, right? They're in the same category, same niche. Someone's looking for a pen, they might be looking for a pencil as well. So your ad may well trigger for someone who searches for a pencil, or for example, if you were selling a biro and they search for a fountain pen, your ad might also show for that too. So you can see it isn't always going to be very effective, and this is the type of match type that I use the least. Now, secondly, we have phrase. Now, phrase match types are very useful because it allows you to control the order of the keywords and not and be able to prevent people from adding keywords in the middle of a phrase. So let's say, for example, that you entered your phrase match type and your keywords were black biro pen. Now, if you used a phrase match for that term, the term black biro pen in that order would have to be searched for. There could be nothing added in the middle of any of those words, which would cause a problem for the search. It has to be in that particular order, which is very useful. But people can add words before or after those 3 inputted keywords. So a phrase match allows you to control the order, but it doesn't prevent customers from adding on words before or after. So for example, if we're looking at black biro pen, someone could put for girls. Now, if you had a very manly pen or a pen, very masculine pen that was definitely not intended for girls, then again, that might not work. But it can be very, very useful because again, you can see what people are typing in and searching for to buy your product, even though not all of them would be relevant. Last but not least, we have exact. Now, exact is when you have the search term in its entirety. You cannot add any words before or after the search term. You will get the most specific and relevant results for that type of for that match type, and it is the most effective in my opinion. You do have to bear in mind with an exact phrase type that people may use a very close variable of that term. So a plural, for example, or a misspelling, but they cannot add words before or after. It has to be exactly the same, bar a couple of variations, i.e. a plural or a misspelling. So 3 types of match types. I would advise to optimize that automatic campaign, extract the keywords that are converting well, include them as exact and phrase match types, run that for another 2 to 4 weeks simultaneously with your automatic campaign, and watch how you rise up the rank. And you will see that the manual campaign does perform extremely well opposed to an automatic, because it just makes sense. And again, remember everyone, PPC is a tool that we use. It's a vehicle to catapult our product up to the front of the search results, gives you an opportunity to shine, to show people what products you have on offer. Once your product starts to sell, you will eventually, depending on how good your product is and your listing is, and the fact that you've optimized it very, very well, be able to have your listing present on page 1 and page 2 if PPC is used correctly. So I hope that was very, very helpful. Again, this will be the last time I'm in this room. We will be fully moved in the next week or so into the new house. The office will be set up, so there'll be a completely new vibe about the room, a new aura. So I look forward to delivering lots of content towards the end of this year and also throughout the whole of next year, helping people, providing as much information on Amazon FBA as I can. Exciting day for me today. A lot of stock is arriving, so they'll be getting shipped into Amazon, and I look forward to seeing, and again, the proof's in the pudding, actually getting my products to page 1 because they've been out of stock for a while, and showing you all that it's possible. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.